Today, we're going to take a really close look at Donald Trump's surprising surge over the last month and how it's reshaping the entire political landscape. Just 1 month ago on September 14, 2024, the general sentiment was that Trump was on a path to lose this election. His poll numbers weren't looking good, and there was this overall sense of vulnerability about his campaign as we headed toward the crucial final weeks of the race. But fast forward to now, and the scenario has completely flipped. Trump has not only closed the gap, but has taken the lead and is now the front runner with a solid chance of winning as we approach the election in November. The change has been dramatic and unexpected, leaving many people asking, how did we get here? Today, we're going to break it all down and really dig into how Trump managed to turn things around so quickly. To get a better understanding of the shift, we're going to compare two electoral maps, one from September 14th and one from today. Both maps highlight the solid and likely states. Those states where either Trump or Harris is expected to win comfortably, and that probably won't be contested much. These are states that aren't expected to surprise anyone, and we won't spend a ton of time analyzing them because they aren't where the election will be decided. What's more important for us to focus on are the swing states, the key battlegrounds where Trump's surge has been most visible. These states are the true indicators of where the race stands right now, and they will ultimately determine who wins in November. Let's start out west with Nevada, a state that has historically leaned Democratic, but is now showing signs of a potential shift toward Trump. At this moment, Trump holds a slim lead of 0.2 in Nevada. Now, that might not sound like a huge number, but it's a massive change when you consider that in 2020, Biden was leading by 5.2 in the polls. Back then, Biden ended up winning Nevada by 2.4. So the fact that Trump has not only erased that advantage, but taken the lead is a big deal. A month ago, Kamala Harris had a slight edge in Nevada with a 1.2 lead, which was enough for the state to be categorized as tilt blue, meaning it was expected to go Democratic. But now with Trump ahead, the state is in danger of flipping red for the first time since 2004. If Nevada goes red, it signals a significant shift and could be a major blow to Harris's campaign. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Moving just one state over, we come to Arizona, which has also seen a significant shift. Arizona has been a major battleground in the last few elections, and it's looking like that trend will continue this year. Trump currently has a 1-seat lead in Arizona, but some polls show him with an even larger advantage. For example, a recent poll from the New York Times, which generally leans toward the Democrats, is Trump ahead by 5 points. That's a huge gap for a state that Biden barely won in 2020 by just 0.31. Back in 2016, Trump won Arizona by almost 4. So the fact that he's leading by 1 right now is significant. Even a month ago, Trump held a 1.3 lead, showing that he has maintained a solid advantage throughout this election cycle. Harris did manage to pull ahead briefly after the Democratic National Convention, but that bump didn't last long. Trump has since regained his footing in Arizona, and it's looking increasingly likely that he'll win the state again, just like he did in 2016 before narrowly losing it to Biden in 2020. Shifting to New Mexico, the story a bit different. Harris still holds a lead here, but it's shrinking. A month ago, Harris was up by 10 points in New Mexico, but her lead has now dropped to 8. While she's still favored to win New Mexico, the fact that her margin is shrinking is noteworthy. New Mexico has a large Hispanic population, and there's been a noticeable shift in Hispanic voters moving away from the Democratic Party over the past few election cycles. That trend seems to be continuing, and if it holds, New Mexico could be closer than many people expect. I don't think Harris is in danger of losing the state outright, but her margin of victory could be much slimmer than what we've seen in past elections. My guess is that New Mexico will be decided by less than 7, but for now, it remains a likely blue state. Though the shrinking support is a trend that Harris's campaign should be watching closely. Heading south to Texas, Trump appears to be solidifying his hold on this critical state. Texas has been a Republican stronghold for a long time, and Trump won it comfortably in both 2016 and 2020. But there's been a lot of talk in recent years about Texas becoming more competitive. Right now, Trump has a 5.7 lead in Texas, which is an improvement from the 4.7 lead he held just a month ago. Texas has been trending closer in recent elections, but Trump seems to be pulling away again. In 2016, he won the state by 9 points, and in 2020 by 5 points. Based on what we're seeing now, I think Trump will probably win Texas by a double-digit margin once all the votes are counted. So while Texas might be classified as lead red on the current map, I expect that by election day, it'll be solidly in Trump's column. Now let's move to the Midwest, where things are looking increasingly challenging for Harris. Just a month ago, Harris was in a strong position in this region, and she appeared to be on track to sweep the entire upper Rust Belt. Winning states like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania would have given her a clear path to victory. But now the outlook in these states has shifted, and Trump is making serious gains. Let's begin with Minnesota, which is the home state of Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz. Harris still holds the lead in Minnesota, but her advantage has been shrinking. Right now, she's ahead by 4.7, down from 6.5 a month ago. That's a noticeable drop, and it's especially concerning when you consider that Biden won Minnesota by 7 points in 2020. Harris's lead is now less than half of what Biden's was, which is a clear sign that the race is tightening in a state that Democrats need to win. On the September map, Minnesota was classified as lean blue, and it remains that way today, but the trend is not in Harris's favor. Wisconsin is another key state where Trump is making gains. Harris currently has a razor-thin lead in Wisconsin, just 0.3, but that lead is shrinking fast. A month ago, she was ahead by 1.2, but Trump has been steadily closing the gap. Wisconsin has been a pivotal state in recent elections, and if Trump overtakes Harris here, it would deal a significant blow to her campaign. For now, Wisconsin is still considered tilt blue on the map, but the momentum is clearly on Trump's side, and it seems likely that he will take the lead soon. Michigan is where we've seen one of the most dramatic shifts in this entire election cycle. Michigan was one of the bluest swing states in 2020, with Biden winning it by nearly 3 points. But now Trump has taken the lead in Michigan, holding a narrow advantage of nearly 1. This marks a huge reversal of fortune for Harris. A month ago, Harris was ahead by 0.7, but in the past month, Trump has surged ahead. On the September map, Michigan was tilt blue, but today it shifted to tilt red. Losing Michigan would be a major setback for Harris, as it's a key part of the Democratic path to victory in the Midwest. Now, let's take a quick break from the election analysis to talk about Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market. If you're interested in tracking the latest election odds in real time and seeing how different events impact the outcome, Polymarket is the perfect tool. Unlike polls, which can take time to reflect shifts in public opinion, Polymarket updates instantly based on the wisdom of thousands of traders. You can check out their website at polymarket.com or download their mobile app for the most up-to-date election forecast. Getting back to the Midwest, let's look at Ohio. This is a state where Trump has consistently performed well, and he's on track to win it again this year. Right now, Trump holds a 7.4 lead in Ohio, which is down slightly from the 9-point lead he had a month ago. The drop in his margin is likely due to new polling from left-leaning outlets like the Washington Post, Marist College, and the New York Times. Even with this slight dip, Trump is still in a very strong position in Ohio. In 2016 and 2020, Trump won Ohio by about 8 points, and he looks set to do the same this time around. So while Ohio remains likely red on both maps, Trump's dominance in the state is evident. Finally, we come to Pennsylvania, one of the most critical states in this election. Pennsylvania has been a true battleground in recent cycles, and this year is no different. Over the past month, Trump has managed to flip Pennsylvania, and he now leads by 0.1. A month ago, Harris was ahead by that same margin, so we've seen a complete reversal here. Pennsylvania is now classified as tilt red on the map, and this is a major concern for the Harris campaign. Pennsylvania is one of the most crucial states for either candidate, and Trump's recent gains suggest that he's on track to reclaim the state, which he won in 2016, but lost to Biden in 2020. When we step back and look at the national picture, the shift in the past month is undeniable. On September 14, Harris had 276 electoral votes, which put her on track to win the election. Today, Trump has surged ahead and now leads with 302 electoral votes, making him the clear favorite. This means Trump has gone from trailing behind to being the front runner in just a matter of weeks. If these trends continue, we could see even more states move into Trump's column as we approach election day. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis useful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated on the latest election news. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for live updates and political commentary as we get closer to election day. The link is in the description below. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll see you in the next video.